first, or do you want him in with his new singing partner?
Oh, he's a singing partner.
Well, yeah, he can bring in his singing partner. I don't care. What's the singing partner's name?
It's Alyssa.
Okay. Tiny Tim and Alyssa. Whatever he's more comfortable with. He might want to be here alone.
Wonder what
He might
this
not
is
want to
all
share the
about.
spotlight with her.
Well, he brought her.
Yeah?
She's doing all the talking.
Really? All right. Well, okay. Who wants to hear her? I want to hear Tiny. That's no fun. I'll shut her up if she's too verbose.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'll shut her up if she makes sense.
You know, I was again thinking about this thing with Tiny. He did marry a woman and then moved to Indiana or something. She lives here and he lives there.
Yeah, hey, let me put my sunglasses on so I look handsome. This is going to end up on you.
Yeah. I'm just still puzzling that whole is Tiny gay thing.
Yeah, I'll get to the bottom of it, if you'll pardon the expression. One second, let me find my glasses. I'm putting on my glasses, Tiny, so I look handsome. Hey, Tiny, how you doing? Tiny, I won't shake your hand because I know you're worried about germs. That's all right. No, listen. I know your whole scene. How you doing, Tiny? You look good.
Miss Gibbons.
Miss Givens, you're really making points here, Tiny.
Miss Givens.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Robin.
Miss Robin. Just take care of it, Miss Robin. Never mind the last name. I forget it, too.
Givens.
Everyone calls you Robin
I
Givens.
know.
Tiny, what a faux pas.
Who's the rest of the gentlemen here?
I'm sorry?
The other gentleman here.
Oh, the other that's
wants intros,
Mr. Jackie,
Mr. Jackie,
Mr. Billy,
Mr. Billy,
and Mr. Fred over there.
Mr. Fred. I'm sorry, Miss Robin. What was the last name again?
Robin
Quivers.
Quivers.
Miss Quivers, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's not like
Obviously,
you, Tiny.
he hasn't seen my book.
Quivers Alive? Have you read it yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, fascinating. You think you got problems, Tiny. Wait till you read her book.
Where can I buy it?
Oh, in any store.
Oh, well, I will as soon as I get out of here.
Please do, because you'll see that everyone else is normal compared to Robin. Yeah, you'll feel a lot better about it. You know how people always say you're eccentric and you're wild and this. You're not. You're completely normal. You're gonna feel, yeah, right. It's unbelievable.
There's hope for you.
You're gonna go wild. Well, how you been?
Oh, I can't complain.
Really? You usually do.
Mr. Stern, thanks. Nice being on your show, but if I just may say and get this out of the way,
Go ahead.
I want to thank my agents, Mr. Magdaleno and Mr. Knight, who had me on your wonderful
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
Yes.
Mr. Knight from Headline Talent. And also, if I may say, there's a very sick girl, a friend of Miss Valerie. She's in a hospital with women's problems. And
Really?
so I hope her
Is this a
operation-
girl that you're in love with?
Oh no! Well, no, she's a wonderful woman, but she's my my manager's wife.
I see.
I mean sister.
I see. So she's having women's problems?
Yes.
What, period, something like
I
that?
don't know what. Maybe an operation.
Really? Oh,
I must point out that Tiny is the first person I've remembered who thanked someone for putting him on their show.
yeah, he actually thanks his managers for putting him on that pay-per-view show. You know, Tiny, that's a hell of a nice thing to thank your managers. Let me say, Tiny looks very young. I got to tell you, Tiny's no spring chicken. Right, Tiny?
Oh, well.
I see. Tiny has come on here numerous occasions and described his beauty regimen. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say
And
something.
the skin is beautiful.
You don't have a wrinkle in that face. Look at you. What are you? You're like 70 or something, right, Tiny? I mean, no offense. That's
Do you
that's
tell
amazing.
your age? You should.
Do you tell your? Do you admit your own age?
Well, I'm nearer 64.
64.
Nearer.
You got the skin of a 30-year-old. Look at you.
Mr. Stern, you're wonderful.
What are you doing these days? What are you doing these days? Are you still using the lotions and creams?
Quivers, thanks. Well,
Would you describe your beauty regimen for the people at home? Because
Well-
it really does work.
Yeah.
Well, I praise the good Lord. He shall renew thy youth like an eagle's. I praise Him first, and also right now.
Do you have a regular prayer routine?
At home, and also.
I picture you praying at home like 20 times a
I'm
day.
grateful for Estee Lauder's tender loving care, and also a wonderful makeup from Revlon called Age Defying Makeup.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Is there
I don't
such a
get-
thing?
I don't get nothing from these people, huh?
Right. Now, one of the things about Tiny, when he endorses a product, he doesn't get
want
anything.
it free. He just wants to buy it.
We have had people call into the show from various companies and say, hey, Tiny just endorsed us. We'd like to send them a free this and that. He won't take it.
That's right.
He won't take it.
Because it's not fair to others, and I don't want to profit here. I'm just telling what I do.
Now, you say Estee Lauder is what?
Yeah, the cleansing cream is called Tender Cream Cleanser with a blue cap on it.
Now, what do you do? What is the regimen? You wake up in the morning and you prepare your face with
4
that?
times with that. Then I use.
No, hold on. Let me get this straight so the people at home know this.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning
Well, yeah.
and you take Estee Estee Lauder rejuvenating cream.
No.
No. I cleanse.
Cleansing cream.
It's called a tender loving cream.
No soap?
No.
Soap never touches that face.
Only in the shower. Only
in the shower.
Only Dove soap for sensitive skin. The extra sensitive Dove is excellent.
Is there a Dove soap? I use Dove soap, but it doesn't say extra sensitive skin.
It's a new box with a light green tag on it.
And that's what you recommend?
I thought that was unscented, not a sensitive.
There's one unscented too, but now they come up with an extra sensitive skin.
Tiny, you must spend
He
like
is
hours in the
constantly
supermarket. Really looking. And when you try, you have to try a lot of products till you find the right one.
Well, always. This country's been blessed not only with wonderful things, but great supermarkets.
Yes.
I mean, great products. They really care about the products, and everyone is competing.
We have if you've been to Europe, right? You see, they don't have the selection we have.
That's why we're living in the greatest country in the world. I mean, the freedom here, no matter what they say, we've been blessed with so much food.
The average man can go into a supermarket, you're talking about any working class person, and pick up products that formerly only a king could buy. Is that true?
And not only that, but we have great products like hefty bags with the 2 handles on it.
I love those.
Especially the steel sack.
What are you doing with those, if I may ask, Tony?
He's getting...
He's chopping up his ex-wives.
He's closing his eyes when he talks.
Right. you almost have ecstasy on your face when you talk about hefty bags. Why people don't tap you for a commercial endorsement, I don't understand.
No, I wouldn't take it now because when I mention it here, it's not fair to those who are trying to look for a break in commercials. But the hefty steel sack, the black one, is really strong, and I use it for not only for garbage, but I also use it, when I go to hotels. Not all the time, but when I remember, I buy it so I could help the maids, put the garbage in without them going into the basket with those open paraphernalia in there.
No, wait a second. Now explain to me. Wait a second. This is interesting. You live in a lot of hotels. You don't really live in right. You like hotel living, and the woman who comes and cleans your room, obviously, you don't leave it to them. You clean your own room.
Yes, I try to.
Right, and you're saying that you don't like when they come in and use their own garbage bags?
Right.
Why?
Because hefty bags, the steel sack ones, you can put it in. There's 2 wonderful yellow handles.
Right.
And you can close it up, and it's very sanitary.
I see. You
He
don't
doesn't
feel
like those open bags.
Right.
Just laying there and letting everything whoosh out.
I see. You don't want them in the room with any of that. So how do you explain to these chambermaids that this is what you require?
Well, I'm usually gone before they come into the room.
Is the room all cleaned by the time when they come in? Because you make your own beds, don't you?
Not very well, but it's made because I can't come into a room and see a bed empty.
I see.
With the cover off.
I see.
What will that do?
Well, it doesn't look right. It looks like
hell.
Something's happened.
Right. Looks like sex has been. Exactly.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Oh my.
The Tiny's got very, very specific. It's a fascinating. Tiny is fascinating. Now, let me get back to your beauty regimen because you really do look younger than ever.
Yeah, because I would always like to try to follow it. Now he said he washes his face 4 times with this tender loving cream.
Right. So in other words, do you mix that with water?
No, I cleanse it. I just cleanse it. Estee Lauder's tender loving cream. I just cleanse it once, tissue off, cleansing twice, tissue off, 3 times, tissue off, 4 times, tissue off.
All right. That requires some time though, right?
It goes fast.
Why 4 times?
Because I'm extra sure when that happens, and then after that.
And how much money do you spend a week on Estee Lauder products?
Well,
I mean, that's a big commitment.
I can't. That's why I use the Estee Lauder tender cream. Then I use the Estee Lauder's liquid cleanser.
Yes.
And then I use the wonderful it's Night Repair.
Night Repair.
I use
Estee Lauder Night Repair.
Yeah. This is advanced Night Repair. It's so wonderful. Night and morning. I have it on now.
Is that right? You wear the Night Repair in the day,
as well as the night.
Wow.
And
day and night, even though it's Night Repair.
And that's about $100 a bottle.
Wow.
And then after that, I use on top of that in the morning. Right now, I'm using the rejuvenating cream.
That's the Revlon.
Now that sounds sort of like snake oil.
That's
also Estee Lauder.
Then what was the other product that you recommend?
For makeup, after I get the base on, then for makeup I will use. I love the age-defying cream.
Now, I'm surprised you do wear makeup. As a man, you don't have to wear makeup.
I do. It keeps me. It makes me feel clean and cleansed and protected.
Really? Tiny, you're amazing. Well, look at you though. I mean, who can argue with success? says.
Why are you arguing with him?
You know, who can argue with it? The man looks young. He does. You can't argue with it. You don't see a wrinkle. I know people 64. They got wrinkles all over their face. You never had a facelift, right?
No,
of course not.
Well, my cheeks have been lifted up. I mean, because I've been cleansing so much, going back to the early 50s.
Right.
I was one of the first to use. They called me sissy, but back in 1952.
I can't believe they would call you that.
Yeah. Right. In 52.
I feel that this is. Now, I don't know genetically. Like your parents, are they still alive?
No, they were saints of parents, but they're dead now.
They are dead now. But when they did they live a long time?
Yes.
Were they wrinkled?
I don't know. I really can't say my father was that wrinkled. No, they weren't.
I see. So far we've learned from Tiny. We haven't even gotten into his music career.
But we've learned how to wash our faces.
We learned how to wash our faces. And we have learned that the steel garbage plastic.
Well, thanks, Mr. Chairman. I tell you, because they make many types with the sack on it, but the steel sack is the best, even though it's $5 a box.
Right.
It all depends where you go in the supermarket, but it is about $4.85 or $5 a box.
Right.
Every garbage place should use that because you have the handles. The rats can't come in that easy, and you can keep you can keep the
Where
handles right on.
Where is Tiny? Oh, I don't know where he's staying. The rats can't get in there. That's the important thing.
I'm just figuratively talking. I mean, in this city here, it's just a great sanitary bag.
And what are you eating these days? Your weight now, you've slimmed down since I last saw you. What are you eating now? You always have such an unusual diet. That's part of your youth regimen, isn't it?
Well, I have to watch the blood sugar.
You do?
Yeah, I know. I got to watch.
You got the diabetes?
Well, yeah, I could have.
You do?
Yeah.
You're so healthy, I thought.
Well, it happens to anybody because in this country we're blessed with sugar.
I see.
From ice creams to sodas to whatever.
I see.
So no matter what diabetes today is like the flu.
You were the guy who only ate ragu and pumpkin seeds.
Right, but still, I used to drink a lot of sodas.
Oh, you did? You never mentioned this before. This is very revealing. What soda were you drinking?
I loved. Well, it didn't come from that, but I still look for it if I ever get it. It's a great health soda.
Right.
It's called Old Time Ginger Beer.
Oh, I see. So you were hitting that.
Oh, I love it.
Wow.
In fact, that helped.
No, I thought you were into a health food thing. What are you eating these days?
Right, these
ragu.
Everything's raw apples. Also prunes. Raw apples and prunes.
Tiny, we got a problem?
Not when you're eating like that, you don't.
And just cutting down more on the diet, and of course.
So you mean, what did you have for breakfast today?
I didn't have anything.
Nothing.
I just had some breath savers.
Mouthwash?
No, breath savers.
Really?
Yeah,
You eat those? What kind of breath savers?
This is peppermint.
Those are good.
Well, it's good for the breath.
I've never seen anybody so opinionated on things. If he eats it, it's good. That's all. Lifesaver. So all you had was a breath mint, so you wouldn't be offensive in the room because you hadn't eaten yet.
All right, and also usually when I can, I get apples.
When you wake up, do you brush your teeth, or you don't believe in that?
Oh, I sure do.
Oh, you do?
Mouthwash.
Only mouthwash.
Well, I brush my teeth always with Crest most of the time. It does have a hard fluoride in it, and it really strengthens the teeth.
See?
Well, he's got all his teeth.
Yeah.
Can't argue with him.
Right.
When I brush with, thank you, Scripture. When I brush with Crest, when I brush with Crest, I don't usually rinse with water.
Now there's a secret.
I chew the Crest, swish it in my mouth, spit it out, and leave the hardness. So the hardness stays to the teeth.
Really?
Is that right?
Tiny, now how did you develop this theory?
Well, I praise God for His blessings. It's just that because
came to you.
The fluoride hardens the teeth.
Right.
And when the water is put in, it washes it away.
All right, let me get this straight. You take the Crest, you put it on the toothbrush.
Right.
No water.
Right.
You start to brush your teeth.
Right.
Then you take it, you swallow it. Oh, you chew it. You chew it.
Chew it and leave it in the mouth for about 4 seconds, swish it around, and then spit it out.
Everything is 4 seconds, 4 times with the Estee Lauder.
Yeah,
I think you got to 4.
Yeah, but the only thing I don't like about Crest, and any of these toothpaste, except for the health toothpaste, they do have that shocking ingredient saccharin. And if the kids swallow it too much, it can cause cancer.
Really?
And I don't see why these big products don't put in at least regular mint sugar.
Have you written to any of the...
I never said that to Crest, but I did send mailgrams years ago under different names to people like Listerine.
I see. You would use an alias.
Yeah, like Varley Ross was my name when I lived in Brooklyn in the 70s.
Right, so Varley Ross would write to these companies and complain about...
Why were you writing to Listerine?
Well, in 1974, when I lived in Brooklyn, Miss Vicky left me already then.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Yeah, I got to get to that. She was on here.
Oh, yeah. I hear, but thanks for being so nice to me.
I was.
I can tell you stories about that.
Oh, really? Good. I want. By the way, Tiny, in the next segment,
side of the story.
we'll get into a little of that. Believe me, you got to have a chance to defend yourself. Absolutely. Go ahead. Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Anyway,
thank you.
The thing is, in this case, I broke a big bottle of Listerine in the bathroom, and I immediately sent a mailgram to them saying, "Why don't you make your bottles in plastic?" And then I called. Then they sent me back something, and they told me on the phone.
Yes.
And they had a point there that we don't want to put it in plastic because the ingredients won't be as powerful. Now they have put it in plastic, and this time they were right. I say to Listerine, get back to glass because the plastic is killing your mouthwash.
May I applaud that?
Oh.
Thank you. It's about time somebody spoke up on that. No, I'm being serious. You care about what you're putting in your mouth. It's not the same product in the plastic.
Right, not for the brown Listerine. The green was not bad.
Understood.
The mint one.
Wow. I never even thought that much about products. I got to be honest with you.
But you don't seem to have a lot of product loyalty because you're always trying new things.
Well, you got to. You got to be experimental in that.
That's right, because everything is moving on. They're always trying to invent new things and coming out with geniuses of ideas.
I mean, Tiny was on a thing for a while that he was just eating pumpkin seeds and ragu.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, that was the whole thing. Now he's into raw apples and prunes.
And he didn't cook the spaghetti. Remember?
Remember, you used to eat regular spaghetti just without cooking it.
It was very firm. I still love it that way.
You do?
Very firm, where I can almost chew the grains.
Now, what do you do if you stay in a hotel? Do you cook in the hotel?
No. Sometimes I'll order room service or go out and get some apples and always spring water.
I see.
Like either Evian or Crystal Geyser.
Oh, really?
It's not a bad buy for 89 cents.
Well, there you go.
Crystal Geyser.
Is that right?
I mean, that's not for 89 cents. I think it comes from somewhere in California.
I see.
But there is a difference.
You sure it's not just tap water?
Probably is.
No.
Probably the chambermaids come in, fill up Tiny's bottles with, and they don't tell them.
No, I can say one thing. I don't care what the experts say.
Go ahead.
And this is my opinion only.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Gentlemen, I can tell you.
Mr. Jackie.
It's not true. I say there is germs through our systems of water, and that these bottled waters are excellent, especially if it's Evian water, especially if it's Crystal Geyser. And there's one thing that comes from Canada. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's some great Canadian waters.
But you got to admit, Tiny, you are germ phobic. I mean, you got the thing with the washing the hands, and you take like 8 showers a day, right?
No, I'll tell you one main one. I haven't missed a shower since December 20th, 1989.
Is that right? Now, why did you miss a shower before that?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Because I was trying for a year, and in November of that year, I broke it, and then I felt discouraged. But now I haven't missed it since that time.
You felt odd.
Just one day
you said,
didn't have a shower?
You felt that, hey, this is a compulsion to shower. Let me see what would happen if I didn't shower for a day. Is that what you're saying?
No. What happened? Miss Jan was with me then, and she said to me, I was going to take a late shower, and because see, my regimen has to be within a 24-hour period.
Yes.
Not to miss it. And this was 10 to it was.
You were going on the 24th hour.
Right, on the 22nd hour.
Thank you.
Without taking it.
Right.
And then she said, what do you want, me or the shower? Because she wanted to do something.
Oh, she was waiting for you on the bed, and you had a tough decision to make.
You.
And Miss Jan, beautiful, all your wives, beautiful women.
Oh, thanks.
Yes.
Thanks. Where he was.
Well, listen, he's thinking about the moment.
I did weaken. I can't do much anyway, but she was doing things to me.
Right, and she was weakening you, and she was there, and you skipped the shower.
Well, I did, and I kicked myself for that afterwards.
You did. That was the only shower you ever missed. And what about now? So the showering routine, you have one major shower for the day, but you do take spruce-up showers, don't you?
When nature calls.
Right.
Here's what happens when nature calls.
Right.
I heard
number 2 you're talking about.
Yes. I heard.
Sorry, Mr. Jackie.
No, I heard
Mr. Jackie very sensitive.
I heard your show when I lived in New York here.
Yes.
And Miss Lambada had hemorrhoids, and I'll never forget that.
Yes.
And, Mr. Who?
Mr. Lambada. The Forbidden Dance.
Mr. Gary.
Yeah, Mr. Delabate. Right. Yes. Go ahead. Okay.
Right. And I heard your show then. And
I call him Mr. Lambada too, so do not be embarrassed at all. Thank you.
That's a tough name for anybody.
I'm sorry.
But Tiny's got a lot of information. You should really listen to this.
Well, he heard this. Yeah,
I mean, in all seriousness.
Hemorrhoid.
All right.
And the thing is,
rather than wipe, you use a.
No, what happens is this. First of all, when a person gets hemorrhoids,
go ahead.
They are getting the hemorrhoids from meats and cheeses, which ball up like gum in the system.
Thank you.
That means it can't move out, causing a force.
You never eat meat or cheeses?
Oh, here and there sometimes, and that's how I had it.
You did have the hemorrhoids.
I can experiment with that.
Yes.
The greatest, in order to avoid these hemorrhoids,
Go ahead.
one must always use.
Excuse me. That was me. I apologize.
Well, always use raw. The key word is raw apples, dried figs, dried prunes. No.
Excuse me, Mr. Tim.
No. And in breads, always a cracked wheat bread that you can chew with grains in it.
Yes.
But these flat breads will gum up in the system.
Right. That moves the system.
They are. They make sludge, right?
Right. Cheeses, chickens, all these things, steaks have no fiber.
It's hard to believe you got the hemorrhoids, but go ahead. You had them. So then you would go.
Experimenting with it, raw apples, raw prunes, beets.
Beets.
Cans, but you must stay away. Not much of meats or cheeses. They clog up the system.
Absolutely. I always tell Robin that. She's very clogged.
Then I always wash with soap and water in there, at least.
With the Dove.
Or
that lucky bar of Dove.
There's another tip.
No, in cleaning, when I use soap and water, I use clean and smooth germ-free dispenser in the brown liquid. It's more sanitary for the hands. You press the top down.
That's just for washing your hands.
That's the rear end inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with soap and water.
Right.
And then I will also cleanse with creams in there because that will also cleanse the area. Then when it's clean, and this is very, very important, then when it's clean.
I don't want to miss this.
When the hemorrhoids are gone,
go ahead.
I still use.
Right.
I still use I either use Preparation H in the green tube, not the other ones.
Right.
In the new green tube with the green letter.
Tried everything. Yeah.
Or Anusol is excellent.
Right.
Or something called Pazo, P-A-Z-O.
And you apply that with the hand?
Very gently, yes. Even I don't have them anymore, and I still apply them.
Just as a precaution.
That's right.
Really? Is that right?
Cream.
So when you go to the supermarket, you will buy a hemorrhoid cream and apply it?
Either Pazo or Preparation H in the green carton or Anusol.
Even though you've licked the problem?
Yes.
Wow.
Because you want to keep it nice and soft, like the hands.
I love you. I swear to God. I love you. It's unbelievable. I mean, we didn't even get to how to clean a bathroom.
To keep up, yes, because the last time we saw him, he was upset with Comet.
Oh, let me tell you something. Yeah, are you still upset with Comet?
If they don't have the grit in it, I would be, because by taking out the grit, really to clean a bathtub, there's got to be grit in the cleanser.
And they took out the grit.
Yeah, that's why I use Zud.
You'd use Zud? Do they have the grit?
More than the other two. Ajax.
Why did they take the grit out?
Well, I think they try to be like Bon Ami. And it doesn't work in bathtubs.
No.
Because you must have grit to
You don't let the chambermaids clean your bathtub, do you?
Well, if I'm not there, they can clean it.
They can?
Yeah, but I always clean it myself. And then I usually will spray on top of the powder, I will spray something like Lysol to make the powder move with the liquid.
Well, you got to make a lot of money to support all your products. I mean,
Just that alone, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Well,
I wonder about his packing. He's got one suitcase full of product.
Yeah. When you come to New York on a promotional visit?
Always it's heavy.
How many suitcases?
Oh, no, it's not that. I only have, 2 valet bags and 2 handbags.
Oh, but you have to carry all your products, your Estee Lauder and everything else.
It does get a bit heavy.
It does. Well, listen, it works. Look at the guy. That's proof positive. You're gorgeous. Look at you. All right, good. All right, listen.
You know what? Does Tiny exercise?
No, I don't think Tiny exercise. You walk a lot, right?
I really don't, Ms. Quivers. I tell you.
He's buying products. That's exercise enough.
That's walking in that
You walk up and down the aisle. This is a supermarket.
Maybe I should, but the thing is, if I try to save my life, I can lose it anyway.
Right.
I can.
As soon as you start caring about it, you lose it.
And not only that, the plane can explode.
Right. It's true.
So sit and enjoy.
That bottom is very soft. I guarantee it. Right?
Oh, well,
yes.
It all depends on the chair.
With all the showering and the lotioning and everything else, because you do full body lotion, right?
Yes.
Well, touch his hands, Howard.
Yeah, no, I don't want a Tiny gets upset.
No,
I don't want to touch your hand. Hey, come on, there could be germs.
He said his butt was as soft as his hands.
Is that right? You mind if I touch it? I mean, I have no hang up. I mean, you do. Oh,
That's
my
the
God.
applicator.
Tiny, that's delicate.
Well, thank you. Sir, I use Vaseline's new pink hand cream. Only for the hands. It has keratin in it, and I really.
Is that the secret? And what about seriously the rest of your body? Is
I've
lotion?
been creaming my hands since the 40s. May rest in peace, Walter Winchell, when he was first advertising Jergens lotion on WJZ radio at 9 o'clock. And Jergens was so wonderful then when it came in glass and it had the almond scent. But as far as the body's concerned, yes, after every shower I always cream my body, either with Vaseline Intensive Care in the yellow or sometimes Revlon's Aquamarine lotion.
What color with bottle?
The Vaseline one is the yellow, and the Aquamarine is blue and white.
Oh, it is. Okay, thank you. I put the wrong bottle. All right, very good. Listen, Tiny, I want you to mellow out. You've done a lot of talking here. You can conserve your energy, please. If you need something to drink or whatever, I would be happy to accommodate you. All right.
Any beer is it?
You want a beer?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Tiny loves beer.
You know what? It's interesting to me because he's so healthy, and then
beer is
he
good.
got off the sodas and went to the beer.
Well, excuse me, Ms. Grissom, Mrs. John, I want to take this, but thanks for letting me talk here. I really believe, and it's my own opinion,
go ahead,
that diabetes is not hampered by beer. Beer has brewer's yeast, and also is a great.
Good for the bowel or not?
Not bad.
Not bad.
You ought to play Jackie's beer song for him.
The only thing, most diabetics are thirsty. They go for sodas, not for beers, because they can't take the bitter brew.
Understood.
I love these beers.
Gary, please fix Tiny a beer. And listen, man likes a beer. There's no problem with me on that.
Is there any time of the day? I mean, is this too early for beer or not?
No time too early.
No.
He's working on a 24-hour clock.
Beer, not
right.
beer.
That's right. All right. Let's take a break. Tiny will have his beer for breakfast. Hey, so Tiny, anyway, so your first wife, Miss Vicky, comes in here, and she made a whole big splash with, she was all over the media, making reference to the marriage, saying the marriage was a farce, saying that you didn't make love to her for the first 6 months. You didn't make love for 6 months. You walked around in women's underwear. And
see, that Hillary, I don't think she wrote that, because she said her editor, did some work on it.
So you never saw him walking around in women's underwear?
I didn't see him walk around in it. I mean, I knew that he had it. I mean, because I used to pack his suitcase for him. We had an apartment, a large, very large one.
Yeah.
So I had like one wing and he had the other wing. And he had a lot of friends over.
A lot of guys? But you didn't see anything going on, did you?
No, but I mean, they were
used
there
to
all night.
disappear.
Right.
Well, you say that in the article. It says she heard, the baby was in the house.
Right.
She could hear Tiny and his little friends, over there laughing and giggling.
Partying.
Hey, it's just a party. I have guys over to parties.
Sure you do.
In fairness to Tiny.
In women's underwear?
Okay, first of all, if I may answer,
go ahead.
She also said that I had men in the room.
Yes, she did.
I had men in the room, and yes,
right,
and also that she left me alone with them. She wanted the baby to sleep or something. First of all,
now as far I've always known you have a complete, if I may say, hard-on for women. I mean, you always.
Well,
right now I'm very
I think that I could say
you're
it
impotent
best.
now.
Oh yeah,
is that right?
My new love, Miss Sue, she's 39. She's in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. She knows that. In fact,
what happened, Tiny?
Well,
when did it happen?
From the diabetes?
Maybe part of it is that way, but I don't blame that. I blame the years go by, and definitely,
The lead drains out of the pencil?
Well, I would say...
Tiny, you took such good care of yourself. It's hard to believe.
Well, that doesn't mean nothing. It's a very delicate area.
Yes.
And
do you cream it?
Did you misuse
it?
Sometimes
you do? You do lotion it?
I used to.
What lotion do you use?
Well, that was going back to the...
You didn't use that
80s.
hormone cream on it.
I know.
I've stopped doing that. Maybe I should have.
Right. Maybe you should lotion it. Maybe that's what happened.
No, but it just time will do that.
Really?
Oh, Tiny, don't
Tiny,
say
you're not that. I mean, you're only 64.
When did it happen? How long ago? How long has this been going on?
I first discovered about July of last year.
You know what I use? I lotion myself with Easy Off down there. It's got the grit.
Well, that's a very delicate area.
Oven cleaner.
And I didn't fool around. I don't believe in fornication before marriage. But the thing is, and Miss Jan left me so many times, I don't believe in fooling around with myself because that's naughty.
You never did
Tiny
that.
does not. No, Tiny has done it.
Are you sure you didn't just back up
No.
the system?
Tiny has fooled around with himself, right? Am I correct? But very rarely.
times, on times I hate that it's wrong. It's
Yeah, you always felt that
it's
you were
simple.
failing when you did that.
Tiny feels that should be safe for marriage. I think we've all established
thanks,
that.
Thanks. And so I told my new intended, Miss Sue, she's only 39. She looks so wonderful. Which I had a
You
picture
always
of.
have good-looking women. I mean, there's never been a problem there, right?
Why is Miss Sue going to go forward with this if you're...
Good question, Ms. Quiver.
Yeah.
So I told her that she
Because
doesn't.
there's still hope.
She doesn't need much. She likes to be touched only.
Right.
Number one.
Yes.
Number two, she says she loves me immensely. She doesn't care.
Right. It's more of a cerebral relationship than a.
Well, she'll be a little touching.
Right.
And I've let her. I made an album. This is not to plug it, just in England. It's out here in Tower Records called "Songs of an Impotent Troubadour."
Really?
And the reason I did that is to let others who are impotent know.